Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy and I help people with their breakups. And today is actually a very important video, and I think it's highly useful information for someone in the no contact rule. And I've written out some stuff on it because I don't want to leave anything out. Um, but the way I put this together um, is for you to better understand the benefits of the no contact rule. A lot of times you get caught up on, well, I haven't contacted them and they haven't contacted me. It's not working. Are they thinking of me? That's not the point of it. I want to get a little deeper and take a different vantage point of the no contact rule and give you a little different perspective. And basically, sticky stories and the no contact rule. What is a sticky story? What is something that sticks? It's something that you remember. It's something that you go, what's going on? And then we have closed loops and open loops. So, a closed loop is a full circle all the way back around. You close the loop or the circle. And that's when you begin a story and you end a story and you have the middle in between. An open loop is when a story has been started and it hasn't closed and it's in your mind. I need to find out the ending. I need to know what went on. We have this in. This is why it's so common to have mystery movies or murder investigations, because you want to know what happened. And whenever someone's killed in a movie, you want to know who did it and how it happened. And this is a huge open loop. And the story is more sticky when it's the most unbelievable or it's something you just can't put together in your head. So, what is a sticky story is what I wrote. It's one that almost forces you to ask why or how or what the fuck. WTF is what we usually write. And you want to read more. You want to look at the pictures more. The tabloids do this, right? The Enquirer used to do this. Remember when I was a kid, I don't know, the grocery stores, I don't see them as much. Used to have the tabloids at the front, and they would, for example, a man with the hair of a monkey on his face, a person with webbed fingers. And you'd want to see the pictures. You'd want to see, is this possible? Is there really someone out there like this? Because the brain goes, a man with webbed hands or someone with monkey hair on their face, is this possible? Is this real? You have to take a look. You have to close that loop. And you have to know, where do they come from? How did this happen? Your brain wants to learn that. So this is what an open loop and a closed loop are. And when people leave open loops, we need to find the ending and close that loop. So I read this book a while back, Made to Stick by Chip Heath and Dan Heath. And they're talking about advertising and sticky stories. And one of the great book, and it's really interesting. One of their examples is Jared from Subway. So a lot of Americans, which I think it's 40% of the YouTube audience right now in my analytics are Americans, but Canadians would know it. And Subway's an international fast food chain, so it's all over the place now. But basically, this was years back. This has got to be like 10 years back. I'm not sure exactly. But this guy was obese. Obese means you're not fat. Obese means you are unhealthy, having trouble walking. You are a very large person that probably needs to lose weight. And he went on this Subway sandwich diet and lost a load of weight, a ton of weight. And basically, the marketing team from Subway found out about this, built a whole campaign about it, and basically it said this guy had lost weight going on a Subway diet, and then they birthed the Subway diet. And I think people correct me in the comments, because this isn't the point of my video to get this story correct. The point is to say it was a sticky story, because you took an obese man that was fairly young, and you took Subway, which is a fast food restaurant that sells deli sandwiches that I would not say are healthy or something that you're going to lose weight with, these 12-inch subs or 6-inch subs, Submarine being a deli sandwich. And you go, this guy went and lost a ton of weight, and you link them together, and everyone goes, how the hell did that happen? I need to read this. How the hell did this guy lose weight drinking a Coke and having a sandwich every day? What did he do? Not to mention, a lot of people are interested in diets, but when you tell me a diet where I can eat a deli sandwich at a fast food restaurant every day, I might be interested. I don't even want to lose weight. I'm not even in that position now, but it interests me because it just doesn't seem possible, right? So that's a sticky story, and a lot of marketing teams look for these sticky stories, and that's one of the stickiest around, actually, over the last 10, 15 years of marketing. It blew up Subway from someone that was very small in the fast food game to a heavy hitter immediately. So let's play a little devil's advocate and do the opposite. What's not sticky? What if I said, become a vegetarian and lose weight? Well, you'd go, duh. Eat broccoli and become healthier. Duh. Exercise and raise your heart rate. Yeah. It's like shit you already know. It's not interesting. It's not sticky. There's nothing about it. If I said become a vegetarian and beat diabetes completely, now that's interesting. That's sticky. You can erase diabetes. That's interesting to me because I saw a documentary on this, and you're not just saying that you're gonna help your diabetes. You're saying you're gonna beat it completely. Now that would be a sticky story to me. That's different than just saying, oh, a vegetarian eats healthier, loses weight. The human wants to close loops to stories. So if someone tells me a vegetarian that can beat diabetes, I want to know more. I'm not diabetic, but my grandfather was. It's in my family, and I'd like to learn about that. So, for example, another example of this. I'm gonna example the hell out of this because I really want to. And don't worry, I'm gonna come back to the no contact rule for those people in a breakup in no contact. I just left that loop open. I'm gonna come back to it. When you are stopped in traffic and there's an accident, once you know it's an accident, a loop is opened. What happened? Did someone die? Did someone get hurt? You need to look when you drive by. You go like this. And then if it's covered up or you can't see, you stop longer and still try to get a look. Now people are saying, and everyone gets pissed off. Keep driving, man, but everyone has to take a look. They got to close that loop. Another example, soap operas, series, Netflix series. All they do is open loops and they don't close them. You know, one person broke up, another person stealing money, another person's divorcing their wife, another person got killed, and then they intertwine the stories, but they don't close any loops till the end of the series. And this is what keeps you on the edge of your seat and keeps you wanting to watch the next series, because it's constantly opening up loops that you want to close. Now, how does this relate to no contact? Dun 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 dun. This is what you came for, folks, because my channel is about breakups and the no contact rule and dealing with having a breakup and possibly getting your ex back. Your ex has a story of how you broke up and who you were at the end of the relationship. In a lot of ways, a loop was closed with the breakup. So for a long time, you guys were hemming and hawing, or she was, or you were, about breaking up, and then it got closed. But as long as you are needy, weak, and saying sorry, nothing about the behavior is sticky or interesting. It's annoying, predictable, and pity-seeking. So a lot of times at the end, this happens a lot. I've read a lot of stories. It's repeated a lot. And someone at the end goes, oh, at the end I lost it. I said I was sorry. I would do anything to have him back. Okay, because at the end the loop is closed and you don't want it to end that way. And it's completely natural behavior. But the problem is, the worst problem is you repeat that ending again. So they already know you're weak, you're needy, you don't want to break up. And the classic, well, you know what? I don't want to be friends, but if you ever want to come back to me, my door's open. If you ever want to reestablish a relationship, I'm here for you. I hear this all the time. And then they say, okay, you go home, you exchange a kiss and a hug, or you just leave, and you don't talk for a week. You've been in no contact. You call them to check and repeat, hey, if you change your mind, just let me know. I don't want to be friends, but if you change your mind, you know I'm always here. You just told them the end of the story again. You just told them a predictable ending. You just showed them who they thought you were. Neek. A combination of needy and weak. I just invented a word there. Neeky. You basically were needy and weak and predictable, and that's a big reason why they broke up. Now, let's move on and start a new loop. Now, looking over the social media, you create all kinds of open loops that you need to basically use your imagination to find the ending. So when you go into social media, you're just finding like this much of the loop. You're not even having half of it, right? You just saw a picture with your ex and someone else, and now you're going, are they seeing him? Are they sleeping with him? Are they going to marry that person? Oh, they might want to have kids with him. Oh my God, I can't believe I got back with someone so early after we broke up. Dot, 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 dot. The wheels running. And then you want to smack your head and go, stop, right? Well, you got this open loop. You don't have any information about it, and all you want to know is how to close that loop. And in some sick part of you, you want to find out, like, are they cheating? Are they seeing someone else? Well, they're not cheating because they're not with you anymore. Are they moved on? So this is why you do need to end social media. Then you turn it into an investigation you have to find the answer to, and then you find a friend of a friend. You dig a little deeper. You might call them up. And it doesn't serve you in any way, because if you call up a friend or a friend of a friend, it's secondhand information. You don't know it's true. And it just goes twists and turns, and it really doesn't close the loop unless you talk to the person directly. That's why all points of social media need to be stopped and no contact. All right. Now the flip side. The flip side that's in your favor of the open loop, closed loop, and sticky story whole thing right here. Okay? Now, what are you creating for your ex when you're in no contact? A new loop that's left open with mystery. So you don't contact them for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. At some point, they are going to wonder, wait a minute, they're not weak and needy anymore? Wait a minute, did they meet someone else? Wait a minute, are they moving on? Wait a minute, are they okay? Wait a minute. All those things are running through their mind. Now, it might take them a longer period of time, but now that the old loop had been closed, they're wondering, are you that same person? What's going on with you? You've created a new set of mystery, a new set of, not expectations, but a new set of what the fuck's going on, right? Now, it's completely possible. There's always exceptions to the rule. That's why you need to write your story and get it to me at writemac.com, or do a live coaching session where this doesn't apply 100% because your story is a bit different. But a majority of them will apply. Now, it's completely possible they're seeing someone else, or that relationship was so bad for so long they don't care that much what's going on with you. Completely possible, but not as common. Okay? If that's the case, then they're not going to be as intrigued with what you're doing, because when they get in a new relationship, that's a whole new open loop. New relationships are loads of open loops because you're still figuring out each other. The mystery's still there. You find out that your partner, where they're from, you meet their family. Everything's new, it's fresh, it's exciting, and you get in the idea, like, I could really be with this person long term. Where at the end of your relationship, all the loops were closed. They knew everything about you. They knew your routines, your styles, your way to answer a question, and it got to a point where they went, okay, I don't like the end of this story. I want to start something new. But if you were together over 2 years, they will be thinking about you at some point. 2 years or longer, most people are, if you go into no contact, whether they contact you or they're a stubborn person or not, they're going to be thinking about you, and that can only work in your favor if you guys are possibly going to get back together. Now, let's give you some useful information here. Now, let's say they contact you and make a date or have a chat, or you have a chat with them. Let's say it's been 4 weeks, 5 weeks, okay? And they hit you up on text and they say, missed you, we're wondering how you were doing. Sounds perfect, right? And you jump on the chance, make a date, and during that date, during the date or some point after, you exhibit weak, needy, or predictable behavior, which was the same reason they left. Bam. You confirm what they saw in you at the end of the last one. You confirm the story that they already had of you, and they were just checking in. Now, this happened with a client a month ago that was in university, and he did the month-long no contact. She contacted me. He contacted me to let me know, oh, the no contact worked. We had a great date. He was patting himself on the back. 2 days later or 3 days later, she didn't answer a couple of his texts in the afternoon, And he got into like, are we going to be serious? At what point are we going to get back together? And she just went, whoo, dust. You know what? I think this was wrong that we met up together. I think, and the date went well and everything, but he reestablished who he was and exhibited weak and needy behavior, which is what she knew of him. And she basically nixed it right in the bud right there. So when they can close the loop again and say, yep, I was right, he's the same, they feel vindicated. They feel like they were right. They're just checking in. Are you the same weak individual that I remember? Are you the same person I remember at the end? And if you exhibit any of that behavior, they'll test you and they'll go, oh, I was right, and they won't want to continue on dating you or seeing you. So what's the answer? What's the answer if they contact you back or you're in this situation? Well, it is to not be predictable or easy to figure out. And the number one way to not be predictable is to not give them any contact and create a little mystery. Have shit to do. Be busy. Turn down a date if they ask. Now, someone said, why would I do that? That would be misleading and misdirected. I'm not saying to not go out on a date, but let's say they contact you after a month and they go, Friday night, if I wanted to go down to Hooters, or I wanted to go here for wings or whatever. Hooters is one of my favorite places when I'm back in California. I love the food. Now, if you're in that situation, you might go, you know what, Friday night I got plans, but if you want to meet on Tuesday, I got an open, Tuesday night we can go over here. And then they're going to go, oh, you got plans Friday night? Yeah, I got plans. And if they go, oh, you're going out with some other woman, or you got a date, huh? You can go, well, a gentleman never tells. Or you can go, gentleman never tells, or something like that. Just be vague and playful, and you're creating a little bit of mystery. And you aren't always available, because part of being weak and needy is that you believe that your partner is the most important part of your life, and you can't live without them or do without them, and women find this behavior repulsive. And men, for the most part, find it in women also, like I've said before. But men, if a woman's weak and needy, some men are attracted to that, and they'll use it in their favor, and they'll take advantage of a woman like that. But a partner of either sex that is confident and has a lot going for themselves doesn't like weak and needy behavior, because they're independent and they're confident, and they want to feel like you're the same and you can take care of yourself. And that's what's attractive to them. And that's the best relationships, when you can grow together and you can create new open loops. And those open loops are interesting and exciting. And, one of the biggest one for married couples is you're opening up a big loop when you have a child, because over a long period of time, there's going to be stories shared about your children, and what you guys are both putting in a lot of work into that, and a lot of care and a lot of love, and you have that dynamic to share. So I'm going on a tangent with this, but let me wrap it up here and close some loops. Basically, sticky stories are things that are interesting to you, that you look at them and go, wow, what the hell happened there, right? And a lot of times the sticky story for you is your breakup. Your breakup, the reason you can't get it out of your mind, something about it doesn't add up in your value system. Something about it doesn't work. There was a guy that was a client of mine that he couldn't deal with the fact that she left him, and he thought he was such a good catch, that he had so much going for him that she would leave him. He just couldn't understand how she would throw away the opportunity to be with him. Now, we did a few live coaching sessions and got to the bottom of it and where he was coming from, and really have worked on that. But that's a sticky story for him, and he couldn't close the loop. He couldn't get the reason in his head. Now we've worked together. We've closed the loop. We've realized that. We've gone into no contact with this woman, and he's moving forward, and he's realizing a lot. It just takes time. So, sticky stories and the no contact rule, closed loops and open loops. And what is a sticky story? That's what we talked about in this video, and I hope that you understand this completely. Ask some questions in the comments below if you're confused about how this works, because I think it's a very important and useful topic for people in the no contact. So, if you have a breakup story to tell and you'd like to get my take, please visit writemac.com, or if you'd like to book a live coaching session, please also visit writemac.com. Thank you.